the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Well, welcome again to another episode of This Is CorbinCenter. Now let's start off with recognition. I actually have two people I want to give special recognition to on this one. Well, actually, could be three, but the two are Nick and Kevin. You managed to capture some amazing footage that happened here from the St. Paul Slammer getting rained out. Surprisingly, the only time it's rained all June is just the one day I have a show. Mother Nature just didn't want me to beat up on Devon Monroe and whoever his mystery opponent or mystery partner was. But also, Sarah, I got to give you an honorable mention because I'm going to be using your photo here. As I mentioned, the St. Paul Slammer, my first event of the summer 1st, rained out, and it was a perfect moment. Here's what happened. The show starts at 3. Beautiful day. Get the ring there. Ring unloaded. Ring set up. Get everything set up. Go on in. Have a bite to eat. People start lining up. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. And then at 2:45, suddenly a little bit of drizzle, suddenly a little bit of drizzle. And then everyone's prediction for a 1/4 inch of rain became a monsoon. Literally. Stormed so hard that it knocked down the canopy in which we were in, did damage to the equipment that we had set up, the staging and all that stuff. But here's another thing that I'm going to share full disclosure with everybody. As a result of a freak accident that happened, and I talk more about it on Patreon, so I don't really want to get into it. But during that storm, I injured my back. Now, you can see that I definitely had the cut. That's for one thing, but my lower back, I have an injury there. I suffered a lower back injury, and as of right now, it's even very tender. And the question that I share in full I don't hide anything. Again, many people were like, "You wore a brace. Isn't that like a target on you?" Look, I wear a knee brace. I've broken one collarbone, I've broken the other collarbone. So here's what I'm telling you. I might have a couple, my body is not the way it was when I was a teenager, and that's documented. But I still go. I've wrestled through numerous injuries, and only when advised to not cause further damage is the only time I've really stopped. There's only been 3 times due to injury that I've missed any substantial amount of time. And I've still been back within a couple months. But what I'm saying is I'm still looking to push through. I do not use these injuries as excuses. But as of right now, am I at 100%? No. Many of you who follow my Instagram and know running, my knee has been banged up. Yeah, absolutely. Been icing, been doing all this stuff, the road to recovery. But right when that feels better, this has been a rough patch, a rough year in the past 12 months. But as a champion, you have to push through because you have a commitment and people rely on you, which is why with Wrestlepalooza coming up and myself as the Wrestlepalooza champion who has held that championship for almost 1 year. And actually, depending on when you watch this video, if you're one who doesn't watch things right away because you put it on the back burner, look, I get it. In a world of social media and in a world of digital consumption, you don't have to watch this video right when it comes out. But when you see this, it will be 1 year. 1 year that I've reigned as champion. And look at who's been champions before me. You have Arya Davari, Eric Cannon, and Airwolf. I am going to surpass and build my legacy at First Ave, at First Wrestling. The biggest thing that no one can take away from me is that I am the only Triple Crown champion in the history of that company, and now with a near year-long reign coming up here, catapulting myself into 2 years, 3 years. The funny thing is every time I post something about my epic reign, people are the first ones to jump on it and be like, "Oh, you're doing the Roman Reigns thing." No, I'm doing the Bruno Sammartino thing, and I'm only going to get rid of this belt. Comes off of me when I want to or when I sign a major contract. That's the only deal. So that's how it goes. When I'm sick of carrying the company on my back, which even though my back isn't 100%, do not worry, First Wrestling. I can still carry this company into bigger, better things. And that's what I did last year. That's why our biggest year was last year. Remember the year where I wasn't around? No, you don't. You don't. So, look, I've always been dedicated to showing up, especially when I have the championship. And I've defended not only my championship, but I've beaten everybody that First Wrestling brings to the table. I've beaten all those former champions, plus all those indie darlings, and I have turned back challenge after challenge after challenge. When's the last time I was pinned at First Wrestling? Can you even name it? No, you absolutely can't. And I just want you to know, again, for the record, I am the only champion that actually has any legitimacy. Devon Monroe, let me lay it out on you. I've said this time and time again. Your championship reign, that's great for you. It's amazing for you, but I still think about when you posted about how all your accolades and everything that you felt like people were overlooking. When I was the Uptown VFW champion twice, I never worried about that. I had a match that got over 1 million views on the First Wrestling YouTube channel. That means people came to see me, and you have to remind them on your social media every single time. It means that people who try and steal my thunder and steal my spotlight, like Eric Cannon, no matter what it is, there's always some big announcement about some big event or about some show, some place that we're going to go where he has to be the guy to deliver it, be the face of First Wrestling, because he knows that he can't beat me. He can't beat me for the championship. The closest that he's ever been able to do is break my collarbone. I still came back, and I'll beat him again. You're never getting this championship off of me, and I know it eats away at you that you would love to be able to make these announcements with the championship draped over your shoulder of the promotion that you represent while you're speaking on behalf of the growth that comes of it. But just know that the reason our company's growing is because I'm the guy who's getting attention. I don't have to go on Twitter and remind people of all my accolades in a thread. People know it. People know everything that I've done, and that's the big part why I'm looking forward to Wrestlepalooza, because that finally, after everything, should be not only just a celebration of everything that I've done. Remember, I've been there since day one. But this should be a celebration for me. A huge celebration. A long time overdue celebration, first and foremost. And everybody who's been announced, they're all secondary players compared to me. If you thought the summer of First was going to be busy enough, with me as champion, we're going to take it to new heights. There's more planned for 2023, and as far as I'm concerned. Minnesota, everyone always says First Wrestling might be one of the best kept secrets of the top brand. I'm going to make it the top company in the Midwest. You're welcome. Now, I talked about the summer of First, but I also have a lot that is coming up, obviously. I still have some events for Higher Ground that are going to be coming up here. Going up for Second Wrestling, my return to Heavy On Wrestling also coming up. First Wrestling returns, the Taste of Minnesota returns, and First Wrestling is going to be a part of that. I also have a little thorn in my side, not because of the injury, but because of one jealous Connor Hopkins who wants a championship back. He's laid out a challenge, but he's going to have to get through my buddy Lore first. And if he can get through that and he can make it through July, which is also really busy, maybe I'll just honor that challenge that you laid out on the line. But right now, what I'm looking forward to is a 1-year championship reign, which, let's face it, independent wrestling, most of the time, those championships are when the company goes under. That's the only time you ever keep that championship for that long, because most people can't. But I can. And that's why I will be Wrestlepalooza champion for a long, long time.